What's up guys, welcome to Wasted Space, we're back on the Rim, and the first thing I've got to talk about is that someone in the comments cleverly suggested that I actually just got my act together, sorted out the managed areas outside of the recording. So what I've done is go through and basically fix these things, so that they're all mostly as they should be. So Hodor's got his pass-through into the fridge now, and more importantly, Animal Ray doesn't include the fridge, etc. So they should all be pretty well sorted. If we just zoom out a bit, you can see that's Animal Raid. Animal Default is, of course, most of the map except for the traps and our food and so on. And then in here, Home Zone is obviously Home Zone. Raid Wargs, I just expanded and got rid of Area 1 because they were doing the same thing. Allowed is the trap one. You can just see how the traps are within the allowed area, but everything else isn't, so they shouldn't try and walk through them. And then finally we've got Hodor. Although, it's worth mentioning that we should now stick everyone onto allowed and Hodor onto Hodor. And the animals are on animal default. Cool. Next step, sort out the mess I'm busy making in this prison. So, not going to be able to get any of the marble tiles in the corners, which is annoying. And we have a roof now. Yep, there we go. Should probably deconstruct and move this heater here. Sorry, we're doing that. Let's have a look. Where's sandstone blocks? I'm going to want that there. Move the heater to there. I think I'm going to reinstall the lights at the foot of the bed. That way there's no question of them potentially blocking the vent, but more importantly I could do something perhaps with a stool here and a chest table. I think that sounds like a vague plan. Hopefully they get about doing that, and we'll probably put the heater back down again. Gonna be in the way. Let's have you there. Should just about do. The one on the end is not going to be particularly warm because the vents seem to progressively get worse, but so be it. Next one, renaming animals. A few people suggested that you could go into the animals thing and actually right-click their name. That doesn't work anymore. That used to work, that's how you used to be able to do it, but that's been changed, I think, since the bonding system or whatever, so sadly not. Well, we have a dumping stockpile here that's in the worst possible place, so I think I'm going to extend it around the corner a little bit and then delete a chunk of it so that at least they can get past. And let's do some mining of random stuff, some hauling of things that are slowing us down. I think I'm probably just going to go and start like mining off all of the extraneous bits outside here. Just get us some chunks, if nothing else. And it tidies things up a little bit, of course. Gotta be vaguely careful we don't pop us open. So this is the only steel left in the base, I think. Is these bits here. Pretty certain we've got rid of the rest of it. This looks like steel. It's not. It's marble. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's speed her up a little bit and fix the chefs. Speed her up a bit and then immediately pause. Great plan, sir. It's because I can't get at them. Yes, we need to go and change... Edit the cook thing. No, I want them with the high hit point stuff. That makes more sense. Better. Now, hopefully they won't be complaining quite so hard. I do want to get more fine meals on the go. How are we doing for meat? We've actually got loads of meat still. That surprises me. Let's have a look. Fine meal, simple meal. The priority's still right, so that should... Yeah, I think we're alright to leave that as it stands. I think we might want to do some snow clearing out here as well. They're almost clearing their own path, but part of me thinks we... Get rid of that. That's our dumping stockpile, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, part of me thinks that should be actually cleared. Part of me thinks it looks quite cool. What else have we got down on here? Resetting these traps. Now, the reason Auto Rearm's not working on these is not because of allowed zones, but because I failed and you need to actually rearm the trap and then do the auto rearm or it won't trigger it to be done. So they should now sort that out once we've got enough. Yeah, nice. Not only that, but this is working out like I hoped. They're using the doors to avoid the trap locations and avoid having to walk over them. Spot on. Spot on. Yet to see whether or not they learn that those traps are there and thus try and avoid this route or what, but can't be bad. We're also into spring, so I assume animals are going to start appearing soon. keep an eye out. I really want to... I should really have got the hens from the last trader. Not paying enough attention to traders when they come in. What else do we want to get done this episode? Might want to try and sort this area out. Just get something down there decent. Because, of course, we can easily move Roland up here once this stuff's done. Not that they're hurrying with that, I might add. But still, something. Now, this never seems to have any sandstone chunks in it. Is that simply because we're not got enough marked for falling? Isn't this all sandstone? Yeah. And this should have a pretty high priority, yeah. Cool, okay, so that should be good. Mad animals. Many of the animals in the region. The ones that are only just arrived. Is it just 2 dromedary? I suspect it might be. It's not very scary, but let's at least keep our huskies indoors, and I can't be bothered to wait for the turrets to come and get them. I suppose for now we can just sort of kind of chill. Everyone's inside the base. These guys are... It does just appear to be the pair of them. I'm not seeing any other movement. It's just those 2. Okay, in which case... Guys, let's go raid wargs so that at least you don't go running outside. That does change Hodor, doing it like that, but so be it. Hang on. Howler, you should be restricted. Howler's actually interesting. We are starting to get him trained in hauling. I hadn't noticed. That's pretty sweet. Animals, yeah. Animal raid. Where are you going? Are you just ignoring your settings? Because that's correct. I made sure that I wasn't screwing it up this time. If I was going to do it off screen, I might as well make sure I did it right. But no, Howler's going to go outside. Now, manhunting, is that going to end up... Let's get you guys back here. They're going to go for the Thrumbo? Oh, there is more of them. Interesting. I'm kind of glad that I didn't choose to go out there and try and fight them. They are restricted internally, aren't they? So they shouldn't really be doing anything silly. Billy, can you actually go and go there just to trigger these doors shut for me? Everyone else, I think I should get a restriction that doesn't allow them to come out here. It seems like a good idea because these guys are just all trying to get out there and get in a place that I don't really want them to be in. Well, here come dromedary. Here come confused dromedary. They can just get one shot. Amber, this is why I don't really want people walking around over there, is because they're just going to get hit by something. You guys, let's just line people up, see how well our, not max, our actual sort of line back here could function if we were to get everybody in sensible positions. Because we can have, I think, them like this, laid out in literally in every square, and they all should be able to shoot. These guys are just like, no, had enough. You're not doing enough with me. Kieran's... Sure, why not? Let's do that. These guys no longer maddened. No, they're not, are they? Both female. Right, you guys can all go back to work. We can go back to allowed and Hodor and animal default, because these guys have now calmed down. We got ourselves a bit of extra free meat. Could tame the dromedaries, but I think the best way to do the taming is going to be to tame some chickens or something easier and quicker to maintain than dromedary. They're big, them dromedary. I'd say, is that dromedary revenge? No? You just set off the trap and that's it. No, fine. I mean, it doesn't actually bother me, but it's a bit weird. Cool. Bits and bobs getting done down there. I should continue the task of mad animal. Where is this one? A local dromedary, no less. Maddened Manhunter. Billy watching the sunset. Never turned the turrets off, did I? What should we do about this? Show our animals back into raid. Survival, not very helpful. Sniper, not very helpful. Anyone awake with this? Yeah, that'll do. And another one, that'll do. That's just going to come down the maze anyway. Addy, dragon. Maddened Manhunter. You know what, just go outside. Let's get these held back open again. I reckon 2 charge rifles should be able to deal with a drone dairy. Max, you want to come down and defend these folks? That's a bit better. This one hurt as well, yeah. Failing to recruit Roland. So we should have... Actually, I was going to say we should have snow clearance on in here, but that's just going to melt really quickly once the heat starts to spread. That's all good. Right, so I think maybe it's time to start thinking about this bit and getting everything back inside. Does look like... Oh, actually, I was about to say, it does look like overnight our power drain's quite high, but it would be when you've got all the turrets on still, dude. So yeah, moving this bunch outside to a safe power location where we can wall it in. Or maybe we just do more winds. Wind seems almost more reliable, but I don't know, it can do this as well and just completely cut off. I just want to get this like incorporated inside so we can be using the geothermal for a bit of efficiency heat-wise, and also so that I can put a cut through just here, because this looks like a real good place to just optimize how efficient we are, how efficient the layout is. Down here is looking great. Animals need to go back onto default. Let's not forget to change permissions. Because at the moment everyone's building snowmen in an area that should technically be outside. Masso is pregnant. That's one of the huskies. You should not be hauling when pregnant. Let's just check this. There's lots to do and none of it's particularly quick. Breakdown, yeah, not a big deal. How are we doing for sandstone supplies? We have got a reasonable amount. They're using primarily marble up there, so let's continue on. This is the bedrooms. There's the bedrooms and the hiding of the power. Because this is all built and finished, yeah. You really want to repair that relatively quickly. That's the one we use constantly. Gravel for... Yep, good. Suddenly, breakdown time. Okay, I see how it is. And now let's make sure that this all gets replaced ASAP. Cool. No, this stuff, haul it. Who's idle? Gravelfoot. We're really done with meals. I could put Gravelfoot on as a second chef. I don't think we're quite there with needs yet, but could be good. So, I think it might be time to move Roland. How are these places looking? Temperature's alright. They're all pretty much set up and ready. That's also... I want to do the stool chest table thing. This heater's kind of in the way a bit. Screw it, I'll leave it as it is for now. Ugly environment. That's about it. Yeah, let's set for colonists. And someone should come and grab him and take him over to the new prisoners' quarters. ASAP. Max, Kieran's asleep. I see. Amber. This says... None of this is really what I was looking for, folks. Kieran should do this almost immediately, but... There we go. Gravelfoot's done it. That'll do. Cool, because what I want to do down here... I'm not going to need these, so let's deconstruct the lot, honestly. Maybe uninstall the table, but deconstruct the chairs and the heater. And we will start thinking sapper trap. What's the Thrumbo actually doing? Just wandering. Travellers from Uncle's Town. Wonder how many of those I've missed this episode. Enough, I'm sure. Enough to wind people up. It's always enough to wind people up. Nice, stone cutting tables are always full these days, so that's good. Should have a baby husky soon. Looks like we could do with some more animal beds. I do kind of want to move where the animals are at some point as well. Like, get ourselves a proper animal area. Maybe down at the end of this corridor here. Once I've worked out what the sapper trap looks like, because this is gonna come across like that. There. And then this is where we have our one thick wall on this corner. And then maybe sort of back in this edge, we have like a little turret set up so that when they come in here, they get blasted to hell. How do I do a cut through here? Maybe I want to extend this further down, actually. Because is this overhead mounting? That's overhead mounting, so that's bug spawning territory as well. Interesting. So I reckon down to there, in there, we're going to use this as a dual purpose, and we actually still want some sort of secureness for these, so planning tool is required. So we're going to have, this will be the corner with our one thick layer, and try and encourage them to come in there. So we probably want to, you do it there? I want to have a cut through corridor here so we can get over to this side a bit easier, because at the moment the hospital and at the top are the only ways. So we have a single width corridor that goes over to there. This will be where sort of our little turret setup is to blast the sappers. It'll kind of open up this area here as potential use for something, don't know what. And then this can be where the sort of what will be necessary at that point is an interior airlock, basically, will be. And this will be walled off. I could even have that double height, maybe. That sort of vague idea. Someone will get them trapped in, get themselves trapped in there. That I'm sure. They always do. How's tailoring looking? Just not enough button-down shirts. Why is that? We have 2 tailoring benches, neither of which have any builds on them. Good job, me. Good job. That one's connected up to 2, that one's connected up to only 1. So let's get rid of that one, and on this one, button-down shirt. How did I manage to get this? I swear I was doing this properly earlier. Do until we have... How much was it? Was it 10? No, it wasn't. I don't think we have room for 10, do we? Let's go ahead and have a quick peek. We have room for 6. And with the cremation on, we could probably set it to exactly that and be fine. Button down shirt. Do we have 6? Not suspended, good. Add bill, cowboy hat. Until we have 6. That's all good. And then what else we were using? Were we using dusters or jackets? I can't remember. Oh well, we were definitely using pants. Definitely had pants involved. 6 and wasn't Parker's. What have we got? Jackets. Roger. So we have 6, and then what I'll also do is Parker until we have like 3 or 4. This is for these guys, the chefs down here. So I might want to whack another area down for that, but I still want to move this whole thing somewhere more sensible. Potentially up here. Oop, was it mental state, daze, cold snap, hydroponic space? Lots of these yellow things. Hodor's just wandering around. You've only just woken up. How's he that bad? Wandering around, throwing his clothes to the ground. I don't think we've had any statue making on the guys because we're using we're stone cutting more than anything else, aren't we? The other thing I think I should probably do is when we start doing these now, we should start doing slightly nicer ones. And no, out of stone, not the ones we don't have. Should give gravel fit something to do when there's no cooking as well. Nice, nice. Down here is sort of not doing anything at all. Solar flare. Yeah, this is where all my food just dies, isn't it? Isn't it? 21, 17, 13, 9, 5. It's the problem with the basins. At least I've got some stuff that's not growing in basins that doesn't just die because the basin's got no power anymore. Suppose that is an advantage of doing it like that. I should really be thinking about the layout in here properly as well. We need to clear this bottom row. Isn't this a perfect time to do so? We have to deconstruct them, which is really annoying, but we'd also, in order to clear the bottom row, have to deconstruct and move the heaters, but whatever, they're in stupid places. So somewhere sensible. That should be relatively free. That should remain. No, it won't, because I want to clear this line here so we can walk down that side of the room as well. So those two, they're just up there. Whatever. Cancel that one. Have that one and that one, I think. And we're going to delete zones. You're going to be kind enough to let me just delete along the bottom here? Oh, I knew it was going to do that. Deleted the whole damn zone. Why? So unnecessary. Okay. What was this? It was just like one massive corn zone, wasn't it, basically? Growing. Yeah, corn. The stuff you've already got. Those guys all running over there for? Well, I suppose we were doing a bunch of mining. They're collecting stuff for some purpose. Yeah, look, as suspected, Gravelfoot's going to get onto the sculpting and we get some nice sculptures up on the go. And let's also harvest down this line and cut plants down this line. Just clear it out. Cool, okay, you're set to 21, which is a bit high. Deconstruct those two now. Yeah, much better. Much better. Got a bit of speed going through some of these areas, and yeah, add the cut through in there, sort of tighten things up a bit. Fill in some of the gaps with the hydroponics tables so that we've just got thick hydro area, basically. And I think that should kind of help us out all round. Right, I was, at one point, trying to build more animal beds, and then I got distracted by not knowing where we were going to put them, and so on. Leathers, what's this, boomalope, I guess. Dromedary. Dromedary leather. So this is already, it's already occupied by just the thing. Not a big deal. Let's get a couple of beds down and get rid of a couple of the sleeping spots. They did it without walling themselves in. Wow. How on earth? That was not expected. That's only 9. Shouldn't cause a collapse. Roland, my man, how are you looking? Imprisoned, yeah, they are a little bit cramped, aren't they? I'll give you that. If I stick down a sandstone chest table there, I think he won't be able to use it because the chair's the wrong way around, but maybe he will. It's better, right? Need to watch the internal temperature because, yeah, as I thought, the 2 heaters aren't actually enough. Temperature, where should we put the last one? Somewhere, hopefully unintrusive. Sure. Why not? Yeah, everything looking nice and calm in there, except for Hodor's trousers just kicking around for no reason. And his jacket. A lot of work left on that statue. Ooh, more stuff to haul. It's good. Need them to finish that off, because at the moment I don't want to open sapper trap down the bottom of the base. Thank you, Mick. I guess poor mood can't be Addy. Addy is incapable of getting in a poor mood. But we should be simultaneously expanding the home zone into this, because otherwise people are going to get angry at how dirty and horrible it is down there. Good. Jurgen down for a bit of cleaning. Dogs are hauling. Terrible mood, Hodor. Where are you, Hodor? In terrible mood in the middle of the base. Not great, man. Not great. But bit of progress. Yeah. Addies. Oh. Just what, Cass? What is this? Just mass sensory mechanites. Which are the ones that increase everything, but put you in pain. It's weird. It's a weird approach, love. I'm not sure. Like, what are you going to combine that with something? I think you probably are, aren't you? That's the sort of shit you tend to pull. Excuse my language. But that's Cass for you. She invokes that level of rage. Cool. That's all sorted. So yeah, now it's about time to think about this bottom. Group for Unclestown. See if I actually spot them this time. Too much little things charging around like lunatics. We also need to make sure that we've got a decent secondary doctor at this point. 7, 7, 8. Not great, if I'm honest, but sure. Because if Kieran's ill, that's when we start running into issues. Scott, my man, what have ye to trade? Components and a superior pillar. Not that great. Camel hair t-shirt worn by Mayo deteriorated. Okay, that's a bit weird. I'll take that. Drop of some components, but who the hell is Mayo? Like, alright. Yeah, I can't remember which one of you was Mayo. I don't think any of you were. I seem to remember that Mayo was the one that we released. Is this Mayo? No, that was Mom. Who the hell is Mayo? Okay, well, there you go. That's a thing. Don't know what's happening, but it's a thing. Okay. This trap down here. I don't really know. I've not done one of these before. And I don't know, the base seems a little bit not perfect for it, if I'm honest. But hey. We do that. We want this a double thick one. It takes up some of the available space, but might be better. And this kind of continues all the way up to there. This is where we have our little airlock thing with what we should do, in fact, just in case we get attacked while all this stuff's going on. is do a proper setup like this, so they're never inclined to try and come in this way anyway. Let's cancel, stretch that out a little. So yeah, and then we do something with some turrets tucked at the back here. I think little line available for them to go down the middle, give them a decent protective area, and then we weaken this whole corner. So then we mine out like that bit and leave it open for the sappers to come in, and they just come in and get greeted by turret hatred. I think, and this is going to require one of these puppies and power running a sensible way to the turrets, which is probably up the walls. I just can't go quite the whole way yet. Then we can just do little crossovers like that. Yeah, and really start burying all the wires in, although, as I said, for the time being, I'm going to have a little loop on it. Is this great? Is there a better way of doing this? So I kind of want to also have this area be darkness, so that we can try and see if we can get the infected? It's not the infected. The infestations to spawn down here as well. I know it's not supposed to be possible. I have to try it for myself, you know. I'm going to leave like that as it is. I think we're going to have to change it at some point, but this should mean that even when this is sort of opened up, it's still basically within the base. Let's move this and reinstall it around the corner. Yeah, poor moods is going to be a thing. Did Hodor actually get Mechanites himself? No, he didn't. So he doesn't actually have Mechanites, thankfully. Do need to get him a lung. Roland, I'm warning you, fella. You need to come over to our side pretty soon, or I am going to be having your limbs. I'm going to have your arm. I'm going to have your bionic eye. I'm going to have your lungs. Probably nick some other bits and bobs, store them in cold storage. So yeah, visitors from Unclestown. Whoop! Hodor has gone berserk. Okay, so what we're going to do about this is Radio Radish does have a weapon up there. Xavier, good, here. And then melee attack, melee attack, melee attack, melee attack. No, Hodor. I know you're a big guy, but these are 5 people. No, don't shoot him. I said melee attack. I guess it was because they couldn't get in range, but it does mean that we might have shot him a few times with the charge rifle as well. Oh, well, he probably won't mind. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Hodor is reserved by Kieran. Rescuing Hodor. Okay, yep, that's fine. So that's almost how it's supposed to go. The intention was to just go and beat on him with fists, because fists are not really going to do anything. However, I think you need to do it with a maximum of 4 people, especially when they're next to a pool table, so you can't get the whole way around them. Okay, these visitors are leaving. Oh no, this was Scott with his pillar. That's fine. That's fine. We did check. Good, good. Not very efficient way in and out, I have to admit, but it's a way. These, of course, are... The only problem with doing this with turrets down here is, again, it kind of almost taunts Cass. It's like, hey, Cass, I'm building a load more turrets. Do you want to come and try them out? Cold snap's over. That's the thing. That's a something. Resources-wise, we are looking good. How's Gravel doing with the statue? Yeah, these do take ages, especially if you're doing a grand. Possibly worth it in the long run. This all got redone, so I should really be... No, we don't really want to run it down this side, because this side doesn't continue all the way down. This side's much more likely to go the whole way down. This is obviously not a very quick or efficient way of doing the doorways, but it should keep it vaguely secure. Hot off. Are you... It is you. I'm sure it's you. Cabin fever, serious. That probably doesn't help. Do you want to... And it doesn't help because you are the slowest man alive and can't even make it outside. If we get rid of cabin fever, then... There you go. Impressive rec room. I like the fact that it's actually independently defined as a rec room. Good. Are these guys all now actually sleeping in proper beds? They are. Nice. That was hay grass stockpile, I think, wasn't it? Something like that. Howler. Why are you in that bedroom? That's because you just ignore what I tell you to do. Now I remember. You don't care. Radish. Because Kieran's sitting here waiting on treatment. Can you... I think it's Radish that's got our... Yeah. Can you please... No, there you go. There you go. Better. Sweet. Is that down here pretty much done? Nice. Let's reconnect. Reconnect. Yeah, it's done except for the turrets, which should easily be turned on and off, which means I can also now technically come and like deconstruct some of this wall to make it the target we want it to be, and internally I'll leave it connected. Not quite. There we go. That, in theory, is our sapper trap. And they're like, oh, a tasty bit of wall. Look how thin it is. And then, oh, look how many turrets there are. Just sitting inside. No, right, those ones have automatically connected to the wrong one, which is perfect. Nice and dark down there as well. Now, let's ensure, just for the sake of this test, that everywhere else isn't nice and dark. There. One there. There, perhaps. That should cover those requirements. And as we are still rocking it good with the amount of sandstone we've got, let's continue sorting these out. Nice. I'm enjoying how quickly all this gets done. Quick enough, in fact, that by the looks of things, no one's going to be sleeping in an unsealed room overnight. Spot on. Not quite spot on. That is a hole. And that is a turret that needs reconnecting. There we go. That's nice. I should really be worrying more about these big long runs, shouldn't I, rather than anything else. And perhaps in here, where we've got a lot of weird power cables running all over. So having to mass out and being pregnant, how long is that? It's not going to be 9 months, of course, because Rimworld's accelerated time. But, okay, that's something. Cool. Howler still mostly disinterested. Aha, here's Masao. Pregnant, middle stage. Effects moving. Can you turn off hauling for pets and stuff? I'm not sure. necessarily want to, I'm just intrigued. So we got slow walk speed out here on the sand, which kind of works, kind of doesn't. Again, part of me feels like if we were to, say, floor over some of this, like specifically a route that means that these guys come out slowly towards the turrets, but then end up going, like our colonists can go nice and fast, maybe? Are all the snowmen going to melt? I hope so. They're clogging the place up, look how many there are. I also suspect we are, at the very least, you know, we should be having a floor in here, because it is going to be floored. Very little of this can be actually smoothed, so I think I might go for, like, full marble floor treatment for this entire area. Going to need to sort out what I'm doing with this, because, of course, that vents into a really odd place. I might have to build it a little venting chamber when that's... Yeah, in fact, I should really do that immediately. So, cancel the ones that are, you know, are going to end up getting built in the wrong order, and then I can put a no roof just there. No roof. That is no roof at the moment, of course. What I need to do is leave the no roof there when I come to filling it in. Yep, more sense made. That's kind of hard to look at. I hope they get on with it quickly. I chose marble intentionally because we're not using that for anything else, and there's like whole stacks of it just kicking around out here. Kind of dark in the fridge. Roland is up to 1.5. Can you actually play? I don't think you can. Let's deconstruct and mad animal. Looks like a mad animal to finish the episode on as well. Deconstruct and we'll give you a sandstone stool in that spot and see if that works. Speaking of which, let's check where the animal is. Where are you? A mad lizard. Good point. I should be getting on with some taming and the like. I think everybody's going to be inside, aren't they? I am seeing nothing. Except drone dairy. No, all is calm. All is quiet. And I've lost the iguana. It was down here, wasn't it? It was down here. There it is. Maddened Manhunter. Moving. Moving where? Don't know. Moving to get killed by the traps, probably. No, just gonna charge around out the front there and make funny noises. Yeah. Nope. I saw that. I was like, and having got a pregnant husky, let's not immediately lose it. There we go. Now the rage has passed. Breakfast in the base. Everybody's eaten by the time Hodor gets in there to pick up a meal. Good job, Hodor. Should we just have a stockpile in here? I feel like it might be better to just have... Oh, hello. That slowed down to the point where I think this is going to be on top of the base. Nearby, with family members. Okay, I'm wrong. They're attacking immediately. Should we watch this one out and finish there? I think we should, shouldn't we? Animals, get back inside. You guys, raid walks. Everyone stay. Everyone in the base. Everyone in the base. Let's also turn off the hold open on those like they should be. This is all sealed off and ready. That's got that. So no weaknesses there. Okay, everyone. Masao, where are you going? Wandering. I would much prefer you to come back into the base. Yes, I'm aware you are pregnant. Can you go and... I don't know what. Is there any way we can get Masao back in quickly? Because these guys are... I don't want to kill the pregnant. one. Where are they? They're there. Alright, I'm going to try just bonding her. Oh, so giving her a master, sorry. And see if that helps. Go run around with Hodor. It's twice as likely to get him killed. Run around with Amber. No? Alright, just please stay out of the fight then. Howler's going outside. Oh god. I don't want to lose the Strombo. But it might just happen. Probably not going to lose Masao. But Howler has got like a beeline going on for these doors. Is that going to force Howler to go this way? I think it probably is. Oh, don't. Whatever you do. Oh, phew. Okay. No, Howler's going to try and... No. Forbidden. You can't go that way. It's not an option. Yeah, that's right. Can't go that way. What you want to do is leave this maze. Right, at least we've got a way now, it looks like, of tricking the animals into, like, playing ball. I'm not too bothered if Howler goes up against a couple of them. I just did not want it to be like Howler versus everybody. Although they might ignore the Thrumbo. If they're intelligent, they should. These doors aren't necessarily working, are they? Did you just shoot a Howler? You're lucky you missed. Yeah, I was about to say, you are lucky you missed, friend. Oh, Howler's just going to run back inside. Okay, that's a good call as well. These guys are really freaking out. Everybody, battle stations. The sails around there. Nope. I think because of what I just did, I just called Masao back by drafting Amber. That's the easiest way to recall these things, is to draft the person, of course it is. So if I like draft Kieran, the Thrumbo comes running back, no problem. Tiny bit of that, that's not too bad. And I think I just did the same with Masao. Yeah, this is not working out great at the moment with the doors. They are doing some very weird things. Like they hit some stuff for a bit, then they run, and they... Masao was miscarried due to starvation. But that's kind of your own fault. And now you're going to come in the back. God. Not very happy with this at the moment. Some things have not gone right. Oh, alright, some of them are coming. They've suddenly gone, yeah, okay, now's the time. Oh, and you know what? Turning the turrets on is generally considered a good idea. You're going to use a snowman as cover. I'm not sure that's a valid technique. Okay, one of them's actually going to stop and have a fight from there. Do the turrets have range? No. Okay, so I need another line of turrets in front of these to correct the range, because we need to be able to outrange these guys. I also need Jurgen. Let's switch you guys up. I need the long range fellas down here. Someone's about to bite it. Anyone else with a long range at the moment? No, they've all got charge rifles. I should really have balanced things out a little bit. Oh god. Oh god. They actually got one of the turrets. Get back, folks. The walls should help here. Hopefully they move in time. I don't want to get... Jurgen, get back into this corner. Yeah, the walls focus that blast perfectly. Nice. Now they should all be leaving. Time to chase down. I think I'm going to ditch the traps and the rest and just use this snake to slow things down. Because these doors are encouraging them to do stuff I'm not happy with. I want them to just cleanly come into the base and get shot to hell. The other thing, as we found out, I need a row of turrets in front here so that the snipers don't think it's a good idea to stop on this corner. Not perfect, but to be fair, suffice. No one's too badly injured or hurt. Kieran, you can go back to business now. And can we grab Radio Radish out of this mess and get Radio Radish just to go and treat Kieran so that Kieran can go and treat the Thrumbo and so on. Gravelfoot, do you want to go and kill this fella? You guys are so useless at times. Oh, that's hilarious. Right, everyone out. Actually, it shouldn't have been everyone out, really, should it? It should have been sending Max and Gravel through with the melee weapons again. And these guys just wait, just in case anyone breaks out. That sort of worked. Right, who's critical alert? To be fair, these guys don't look like they're about to get out of there. Let's send people back and let them sort themselves out. That was a much less confident raid than I was hoping for. You two, next. And finally... Good job, guys. Get yourself back out of there. What a mess. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something about those doors. It's just not quite working like you'd want. The final thing I suppose I should check just quickly is whether Natsuki here is worth a look. Character, incapable of dumb labour. Stop being incapable of dumb labour. It's what we need. Mercenary of the Knuckle Dusters. Catch and release, perhaps? We got space for it. Who's not hurt? Amber. You're fine. Cool. Well, we got through it. It wasn't pretty. Jürgen got shot by teammates. In fact, there was a fair bit of getting shot by teammates going on. I guess we can go back to full allowed, except Hodor, of course, remains in the base. And animals back to doing what you're doing. And of course, I've now remembered / learnt that the way to control the animals is, of course, just to draft the person that they are connected to, bonded to, not bonded, master. And that will sort things. Really, Mick? Really? How is that animal starvation? It should not be animal starvation. Sherlock, bro. We've not got kibble? We're out of meat. Damn it. Fine then. I guess we're going to need to, for the time being, what's this? This is the kibble spot. I'm going to have to turn this back off again at some point, but for now, I think there's going to have to be potatoes in there, and I'm going to have to hope that Yeah, they do eat vegetables. Cool. I don't think I can prioritise, unfortunately. And Natsuki, given you're probably going to be a catch and release, let's go to friendly chat and herbal. That's fine. Yeah, okay, also rearm the traps again for the time being, but let's turn that off. I'll do that manually. Terrible mood max. Well, yeah. Gravel foot. Just bruised. Because Kieran's tending to Howler, who got shot up a bit. Has tended to, I should say. How can I get this to actually move? Priority critical. Yep, someone should be getting onto that fairly quick, I would hope. Security. Improvised turret there. We also need to reconnect them. Cargo pods, eh? Cargo pods with meat in. Nice. Sherlock is here, wandering. I just want someone to move some food outside, and there's so many hauling jobs, and there's no easy way to prioritize food moving. Because you can't, it's not like you can right-click on the stockpile or anything. There's no way of getting them to actually do it. I need you to feed Sherlock. You know what? Let's go on a hauling dive quickly. Everybody haul. Turn that back down again, but I want everybody hauling. Go, folks, go. I'm surprised that Sherlock hasn't wandered his way outside and found some food out here. Because there is, like, there's meals and stuff kicking around. They should be able to drink that. Go on. Haul, 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 haul. Terrible mood, Max. Why have you not been treated? Because I just set Kieran to very high hauling. Work, Kieran, yeah. Kieran's the only one that shouldn't be. And even then, he should be wardening and doctoring above it anyway. That's better. Kind of surprised that the kibble making, butchering creature thing is just not happening. Why? What have I got limitations on for kibble? It's all meat, so I don't know. They're just choosing not to make any kibble at the moment. It's also, I think, time to flip these around. It's starting to get quite warm outside. Come on, I don't want to lose the huskies. Somebody please take... Ah, there we go. Someone's taken some potatoes to the spot where they're supposed to be potatoes. Will Sherlock now actually come and eat some potatoes? So Sherlock has had some food. Masso is coming to have some food, I think. And after all that, we ended up miscarrying due to starvation rather than anything else. Lol. Freaked me out there for a second because it looked like it was Mick being put in, but there's food there. Can you go eat it? Hey, there we go. Cool. Some semblance of normality has returned. There is much hauling that needs doing, but a lot's been done. I think this is as good a place as any to stop, guys. So there you go. Some progress today, I think. We've got our little potentially working, potentially not sapper trap set up down here. Could even work as an infestation trap, don't know. Kind of sorted out all of the areas, although I did that off episode. Had a weird fight that means that I'm going to rethink some of these elements in here. I don't want them attacking the doors. And I think I might partly have caused it with what I was doing with the Thrumbo, but maybe not at the same time. And yeah, we kind of sorted out a bit in the hydroponics, tried to get the stuff up here, cleared up and vaguely ready to moving forwards, and yeah, built more walls into the bedrooms. There you go. Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. If you did, please hit like, please hit subscribe, really helps me in the channel out. If you didn't, then you know where that dislike button is, but please also hit me up with a comment, let me know how I can improve, and otherwise, I will catch you guys next time.